That's why I love my therapist. I feel like everyone in America should get a therapist. If
Yeah.
I was president, I would get everyone a therapist, okay?
Lord, that's 2024.
Welcome back. Can we roll that? If you guys are watching this, don't do drugs.
You know what?
Damn, Jesse.
It's on the line.
No, it's not. That shit over the line. You're trying to overdose on camera.
Hi guys, we're Les Informativas, and welcome back to our podcast.
I'm Lourdes.
Hey guys, I'm Jessie.
And today we have a very interesting topic to talk to all of you guys about. I know that you have a lot of experience in this department, and so do I, because I have a lot of experience. Is blood thicker than water? And by that referencing meaning like, is your family more loyal to you, or like your husband family, or like, is the family more loyal to you, or is it strangers more loyal to you?
Yeah. I would say, like, from my experience, I would say it's like a mix. Because I do have family that we've had issues with for so long. And that at this point, like, I don't even think that we call them family. And there's people that aren't even related to me, like directly related to me, that are more, that I think are more family to me than my actual family.
And I can 100% agree with you with that. You know my history. Um, Living through what I had to go through, I feel like it made me open up to like see that family really doesn't really mean anything. It's just a word. Like,
yep.
It's literally just saying like, oh, that's my best friend, and like they don't mean shit.
Yeah.
I went through something very traumatic in my lifetime, and that actually made me lose my whole entire family. With that being said, it hurt a lot knowing that my own family were able to betray me in such a moment that I really needed them.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I grew up, the more I realized that there's people that don't know me that would go like to the end of the earth and back just to help me out. And that's something that I feel like opens up your eyes and makes you realize that family really isn't anything. Like, no matter what, like, you guys can say, yeah, we're family, but depending on how you treat someone, it's really how it goes.
Yeah, it is. Like, I think a perfect example is like my relationship with Michelle. Shout out Michelle. So me and Michelle, we're not related. We're not blood related.
Mm-hmm.
We're the most thing that we have in common is that we're Ecuadorian. That's it. But my mom and Michelle's mom have been best friends since they both came here. Me and Michelle grew up together. We grew up as sisters, and she is my family. Like, in my eyes, she's my family.
Yeah, and I've noticed that every single time like she like talks about Michelle, it's like my cousin, and it's never like, oh, my friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we're not even blood related. And
yeah, se ve el cariño, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like with me, I don't try to be close with anyone, especially because what I've been through, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like I had to grow up so fast, and I had to see my future por así mismo, y no tratar de ver quién es mi familia, quién son mis amigos, you know what I'm saying? And like, I have a lot of good friends. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I can name them all in one hand, probably. Like, I still have people that, I know from middle school. I have people that I used to go to the gym with when I was like in middle school, or like people that I went to high school with, people that, I knew since 5th, 6th grade, like those are my like friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I see them, I say, what's up, whatever, call it a day, moving on. But for somebody like to have close ever since what happened between me and my family, I feel like I never got close with absolutely anyone, and the people who I have gotten close to have betrayed me. And I feel like I learned what I'm saying? Like, you learned your lesson.
Yeah.
Like, you learned your lesson to just like stay to yourself. And as fucked up as that sounds, I feel like that's the best thing you can do is just stay by yourself. Mind your business. Stay in your lane. Like, my mom always tells me, like, oh, you have no friends. Like, why don't you hang out with people? And all my friends are guys.
Yeah.
Like, I went to a technical school, and like, the shop I was in, the majority was boys. You know what I'm saying? So it was like 13 boys and like I'm gonna say like me and this girl, but she was very quiet. Like she didn't really like to talk to us. But it's cool. Shout out to you. You were the shit. Um but yeah, it was just me and the guys. Yeah. And I grew up and built a bond with them to this day. Like I call some of them. Some of them like I don't talk to, and you know what I'm saying? Like para que esa gente sea más familia mía y no la mía, it hurts.
Yeah, because I have family too that live so far from me, but then again, I also have friends that live as far as they do, and I'm in contact with those friends, but
they make the effort.
Ask me about my family that lives far away. I cannot tell you a single thing that's going on in their life, but ask me about my friend that I spoke to like the other day. Like I would know more about them than their life.
I feel like it's very difficult when it comes with family. You know, para los que no me conocen, yo soy la más grande de la familia, so it's me. So it's my brother because he's older, and then my other cousin, and then me on my mom's side. And then on my dad's side, I'm the youngest, only girl. Like, I'm the only girl. My cousins are like 30, 40, and my brothers, you know what I'm saying? They're old. So, me being the only girl and being the oldest on my mom's family, I feel like I've gotten a lot of criticism. You know what I'm saying? I've been criticized since the day I walked on earth. Oh, she's getting too fat, or her education, all this, all that. Like, she's not going to become anything. And you know what the saddest part is? That I lived through that in church too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People who are supposed to be your brothers and sisters in Christ were the ones saying, like, oh, ella's vaga. Oh, this is that. Like, she's ghetto. And I feel like I prove all those people wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, my goal in life is never to, like, make what they say about me true. It's just doing the opposite. And sadly, I know that my mom's family hates me, and I'm totally okay with that. But I feel like it sucks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't expect that from family.
Yeah. You know? I feel like well, what is the saying? Like having enemies like that? No, what is it? Having like a family member like that. Why do you need enemies?
Oh yeah, teniendo un familiar así para que tener enemigos.
Yeah, that's how it is. Like if you like, sometimes it be your own family preying on your downfall, and for what? Like they're supposed to be by your side, supporting you, and you know what? When you need that support, it's not even your family that's there. It's your friends, the strangers that you've turned into your family, that you created bonds with, that are there for you by your side.
That was the sad part. When I graduated high school back in 2022, everyone had their family, everyone had their grandfather, their grandmother, or somebody in the podium. And I remember when I graduated, I walked through that stage and I saw my section, and it was just my mom and my dad. And with that, it made me realize that nobody goes harder for you than your mom and your dad.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm telling you, like, I give the world to my parents. Like, my parents gave me everything in a silver spoon. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they gave me absolutely everything. And I feel like that's why a lot of people don't like me, because como dicen que todo me lo dan. And it's true. That's what parents are supposed to do. Parents are supposed to give you everything that you need. And that's exactly what my parents did. I got a car when I was 16. I had my own room. Like, my parents didn't care. Like, as long as I was home in bed by 10, is what they care about. You know, and sometimes I was 16, like, working at Walmart, I remember, and like the shifts were ended at 11, and still, like, I would be home by like 11:30. I'd be like knocked out. And my parents gave me absolutely everything that I wanted, even when I was working. My parents paid for my insurance, paid for my gas. Like, my parents paid for absolutely everything. And this is why I give everything to my parents. Like, I would give the world to my parents. And I feel like that's why a lot of my aunts don't like me, because I will defend my parents. I don't care who is with. My parents will always be defended by their daughter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they like you said, like the same way that they gave you everything that you needed to succeed in life is the same way that my parents brought me up too. They gave me they helped me out with my education. They always supported me in everything that I did. And whenever I had trouble with something, like I knew like I could turn to my parents. And I know most of my cousins, they can't say the same about their parents. Like my parents were right there by my side, helping me with whatever I needed so that I could be successful in life.
Yeah.
Because that's all a parent really wants for their kids.
Like they, I feel like parents make sure that you don't go through what they went through. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, like I actually took a gap year in my education. Pero era porque estaba tan deprimida. Te juro que cuando murió mi abuela, she died July 21st, 2023. I remember I was at the hospital. And not I was sick. I was working there. I was working there. I was working at the hospital.
As a pharmacy technician.
Yes. So please, guys, I was not dying. Okay. Thank you for your worries, los aprecios. But I was actually at the hospital. I was actually a pharmacy tech, and I was doing IVs. So I love working with IVs. You know, making the IV bags. So you know, if you guys are in the hospital and have an IV in your arm, I did that. But I remember I was sitting down, and my pharmacist at the time, me and him have a very close bond. He actually helped me and guided me to go to a pharmacy school. And I remember I sat there, and my phone is like going off, and I look at it, and it's my mom telling me that my grandmother had passed from cancer. I remember that, like, the wind from La Rosa de Guadalupe me pegó. Y yo entre mí decía, no lo creo, no lo creía. Y me metí en una depresión tan hijueputa que me recuerdo que me encerré y estaba tan brava porque la única persona que yo tenía en mi familia era mi abuela. My grandmother from my mom's side doesn't speak to me, nor do I want to speak to her. And losing the only family I had made me very depressed.
Yeah.
You know, like, I remember, like, yo me encerraba en el cuarto y lloraba. Y mi novio me decía, ¿qué tienes? You know what I'm saying? Like, háblame. And as much as I wanted to talk to him, I couldn't because he had no idea what I was going through.
Yeah.
You know, like, no idea, so whatever. And I was so depressed. I was 19 years old, about to be 20. And I was so freaking depressed. Like, you know, like, I had this, you know, case going on, and the only person who was helping me through the case had died.
Yeah.
And I remember I couldn't tell nobody, like, my grandmother died. I could not let it hurt me.
Yeah.
I went to work the next day, like, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like, my coworkers, like, obviously my pharmacy knew what happened. My pharmacist knew what happened. And he looked at me. He was like, girl, why are you here?
Yeah.
You know? But I just couldn't. Honestly, I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't let that lower me. And I couldn't go to school. I couldn't focus. I couldn't continue. And my mom helped me a lot into talking to me and letting me know that, you know, everything that happened was God's plan. Que uno le guste o no, es lo que nos toca.
Yeah.
Y con eso pensé en la escuela otra vez. Y ya me estoy mejorando mucho, thankfully, to my therapist, you know? Like, I feel like everyone should get a therapist, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like when people are grumpy or, like, hating, because you need a therapist, okay? You need a therapist.
You have unresolved issues.
Yes, and you're taking it out on us.
Yeah.
I honestly thank my parents for that. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't cry because that's my dad's mom. My dad lost his mom. And the hardest part of that was having to watch my dad hold a phone and seeing how he's watching his mom get buried. And I know that destroyed my dad because I knew he wanted to be there. You know, his sisters had died, and now his mom was the last one to go. And now he has no more family. And as much as I wanted to cry and break down in front of my parents, I couldn't. I really couldn't, because they gave me the whole entire world, and I had to be there for my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's blood. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But ask me if I were to do that with my aunts on my mom's side.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give a fuck about them. I would not give a fuck about them, bro. But it's just like the disrespect. The loyalty that they have for a raper, like a rapist, like, it's just beyond. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And por eso, like, I could never talk to them. I could talk to my family, my mom, my dad. I'll give the world for them, obviously. But my other family, what do they call it? Immediate family?
Yeah.
I couldn't.
No.
I could not. I don't have no cousins to say, like, I fuck with them. Not at all. Like, I do have cousins that I love, but when I try to reach out, I feel like, I was getting laughed at. And the last thing I will ever let that be is me getting laughed at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tried. And if your mom poisoned you, that's on you.
Yeah.
You know
At least they can never say that we didn't make an effort on
exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I grew up knowing that, like, I would forever have love for my cousins, no matter what. But I wouldn't try to reach out.
Yeah.
I would just leave it like that.
Yeah.
There's just so much you can do, especially with blood. Siento que con la gente que es familia, no se aguanta. You know what I'm saying? Like,
like, you have less patience.
Yeah, you have less patience because by law, people say your family comes first. But what if for your family, you don't come first?
Yeah.
Then what? Either you get along with your mom's side, and you don't get along with your dad's side, or you get along with your dad's side, and you don't get along with your mom's side. Like, it's never just both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like for me, for the most part, I only have like a relationship with one of my grandparents. So my grandpa from my mom's side did die when I turned 15. Like, it was right on my birthday that he died.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so it was like really difficult because it was like a moment for me to be celebrating my birthday. Like, I turned 15, and for my mom to get the phone call of your dad just passed. Like, and when I went to Ecuador, I would say that I spent most of my time with my mom's parents because they bothered to take care of me. They bothered to take that extra step to make sure I was comfortable. They just cared for me a lot more than my dad's parents did. So I would say for the most part, like, when people ask me like, how are your grandparents, I'm like, I only have a grandma.
That's so funny because unfortunately my grandfather died around the time I was born, so that's 21 years. And my dad's dad also passed away when I was probably like in 6th grade. And I only had my grandmother, and I had the witch. I have no respect towards this woman at all for the way that she treated my mom and the way that she treated me. There's no respect at all. And with that being said, when I used to go to Guatemala, I remember, like, I would go visit my grandmother, and I would hear people like, "Oh my gosh, she's like asking about you. She's like wondering about you," or she would like fight with her sisters. The one I used to go visit, she was like, "Oh my god, you had her at this house? Duh! Like, why are you so mad?" But I feel like when people ask me, "¿Cómo está tu abuela?" Digo, "Ah, ya se murió." Y me dicen, "No, no, no, la mamá de tu mamá también se murió. Yeah. Se murió la cabrona. Ya se murió." Se murió. Y ya, digamos, yo ya no contesto más. Cuando ya ellos me oyen decir, "Oh, se murió también," then they kind of get it that,
the relationship.
Yeah, right, like there's no relationship between me and her. And sometimes people ask me about my aunts, like, "Oh, ¿cómo están tus tías?" I'm like, "I think they died. I have no idea." You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't keep up with them. And when somebody asks, that's the first thing I say. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a reflex.
Yeah.
Like, "How's your grandma?" And, "Oh, she's dead." You know, if I were to ask you, "Oh, how's your grandma?" You'd be like, "Oh, my mom's good." You know what I'm saying? Like, it's quick. It's a quick reflex. Like, and that's something that I feel like the brain knows is that who's family and who's not.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I would say that like it was pretty obvious to me who my family was too when it came to my graduation. I'm like the first person to graduate from college.
Let's give a round of applause because not everyone does that.
Do we have the clap button?
I don't think so. Hold on. A round of applause for Jessie.
So I was like the first to graduate in my family, And when I already got like the approval and everything to graduate, I let my family know in Ecuador, like, hey, would you guys be interested in coming for my graduation?
Mm-hmm.
So my grandma, obviously, she was like, yeah, like, let's go. Like, I'm coming. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just tell me when and I'm there. My aunt, which is my mom's sister, also, and
Oh yeah, they were here. I
she
forgot.
was
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and even with her health conditions and everything, she still made a way to come and see.
And support you.
Exactly, to
Mm-hmm.
come see me, come support me. On the other hand, my other set of grandparents, from the beginning, it was an issue that they didn't want to come. They made every other excuse to not want to come instead of just straight up
I'm
saying
gonna be
no, we
like
don't want to
so
go.
honest with you. I've never met somebody full of excuses
Mm-hmm.
until you meet the person who doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, damn, you got good excuses. I'm about to
Yeah.
take this shit. It's like, okay.
Yeah. So like after hearing that and just how like you saw the difference of how my aunt and how my grandma were like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
let me know when's the flight, and we're there,
Mm-hmm.
compared to, oh but this, oh but that. Like it's
Yeah.
obvious without it being like straight up said to your face.
And you know what's sad about that es que ellos tienen la oportunidad de venir para acá.
Exactly.
Que mucha familia no tuvo la oportunidad, digamos, mi abuela no tuvo la oportunidad de venir para acá. Mi papá fue para allá
Mm-hmm.
y I would go every year. And I feel like that's what something that always pisses me off was that she's never been able to come over here and never
Mm-hmm.
will. And you know, the sad part was that when my dad came back from Guatemala, my dad didn't call her the day that he came back because it was late. And the
Mm-hmm.
next day, he calls her and like, "Hey, I'm here." And 3 hours later, we got the call that she passed. So a lot of people say that it's because she was waiting for him to be in safe. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like waiting for him to be like sanos y salvos.
Yeah.
And I find it so upsetting that family who are able to come to the United States, and I know that a lot of you guys can actually relate to that, you know, people who are able to come, que sea tu mamá, tu abuela, tu abuelo, tus tías, quien sea, like, you know, when you hear somebody say like they didn't want to come,
Like
knowing that they're
make the extra
yeah, make
effort
the effort
to.
of coming and having the possibility of coming,
Yeah.
it's like very disappointing.
Yeah, cause
Demasiado.
I know my dad has been wanting to see his parents, both of them, for like the longest. Like he's been here for what, like 23, 24 years,
Mm-hmm.
and there is the opportunity for my grandparents to just come over here. Like yeah, it will take a minute, like to make sure they're like everything, like their land and all that stuff is
Mm-hmm.
like taken care of. They come here for like a month, but they want my dad to drop everything, go there, see them, and come back. Like,
And knowing that like he has a life, knowing that he's married, has
mm-hmm,
kids, has a job,
mm-hmm.
and risking that to be like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Como
So, but
que,
you could come too, and like, like
yeah,
it's
it's,
just
I'm telling you, it's very disappointing when family doesn't try. Like with my family, when my family didn't try to reach out to me
mm-hmm,
when the whole case exploded, I was
mm-hmm,
very disappointed.
mm-hmm,
Demasiado. Te digo, soy honesta contigo y te lo digo a todos aquí. When I was 6, around this age of 6, 9, I was raped by my aunt's husband. And I spoke out about it in 2019. In 2020, he got arrested, I think. I'm not really good with dates. I was pretty high. I remember they told me around November, so around these months coming up, that he was arrested. And my mom told me, tu familia te va a bloquear. Like, you know, te van a
mm-hmm.
bloquear y te lo digo para que no te sorprendes. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So it doesn't catch you by
Yeah, like,
surprise.
you know,
Yeah.
que no me agarre de sorpresa de lo que van a hacer. Por mí, que yo nunca en mi vida pensaba que mis tías me iban a bloquear.
Yeah.
Mainly because my aunts are pretty young. My aunt, one of them has to be like like nobody's over 40 or like nobody's over 35. I'm 21, bro. We're not that off in age. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
we're close. But when I found out they blocked me because they were defending this guy, me entré en una depresión bien, mind you, I was 16 years old when this happened. Um, I was in high school, my sophomore year, and I was so depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Decirte toda la verdad, me deprimí tanto porque sabía que la familia que yo una vez amé ya nunca más me iba a amar.
Mm-hmm.
Y a lot of people tell me like they like ask me like you know what made you say it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was so depressed. I would lock myself in my room, me deprimía, me laqueaba en el cuarto, miraba the iPad,
Mm-hmm.
no hablaba con nadie, no texteaba con nadie, yo estaba sola, me sentí sola y no sabía qué hacer,
Mm-hmm.
no sabía qué hacer, no sabía la reacción que era, like, appropriate.
Yeah.
Because when you go through rape and you finally realize that what you went through was not something you were supposed to go through,
Mm-hmm.
you enter into depression
Yeah.
because you wish you would have said something earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I didn't, but I did say something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why my case is in court. And it's so sad to hear that my aunts are saying, like, la vamos a agarrar en la mentira when we go to court, this and the third.
Yeah.
And it's like sad because that's my family.
And
You know what
that's
I'm
like
saying?
when you need their support. Like you're going
Exactly.
through, you experienced something traumatic as a kid, and
Mm-hmm.
you would think like, oh, my family would understand what I went through. My family
Mm-hmm.
would be on my side of the ring.
And eso fue que yo dije algo en el principio, que nunca me llamaron mis tías. Nobody called me. Nobody checked up on me. Nobody asked me if it was true. I was already automatically blocked.
Mm-hmm.
Nadie quería saber de mí. No podía hablar con mis primos, con mi prima. And as much as I know that they hate me, I have love for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope one day in the far future we're able to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because I I just wanted to be like out there that I didn't do anything wrong, you
Yeah.
know. And this goes to all the girls out there, like you guys didn't do absolutely anything wrong. And that's was something that I was very scared of, was people saying that I was lying. And
Mm-hmm.
it happened,
Yeah.
you know. And it wasn't strangers who were saying it. It was immediate family.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's one of the things that people don't really know. Like when it comes to sexual assaults, like when it comes to rapes and all this, like parents and stuff, they have that. It's like the saying, like, be careful of the stranger, be careful of like the man in like the white van, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not.
It's not.
It's your family. Like,
It's people who you would never expect.
mm,
And this is why when I would, at 18, I was a babysitter, and that little girl is everything to me.
mm,
I would take care of her. I wouldn't let even the stepdad be near her. Like, I was very, like, me protegía más a ella que a los muchachos porque ellos ya
mm,
estaban un poquito grandecitos, pero ya no.
yeah,
And, it comes again with my sister in law. She's only 14.
mm,
I protect that girl through hell and back.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually do love my sister in law. My sister in law actually isn't an ass. Like, she's actually, like, maybe because she's 13, 14, but I grew a bond with her
mm,
because, like, if she ever needs anything, if she doesn't know who to talk to, because a lot of people aren't open about sexual assault. I am
mm,
very open about my sexual assault because I want people to know that it's okay. Just speak up about it
mm,
and don't be afraid of, oh my God, ¿quién va a hablar mal de mí? ¿Quién no me va a creer? Because that was something that I always worried about, was people talking about me. And even if it wasn't for that, people would still talk about me. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like, that's why, like, when I opened up about it, I wasn't, I'm not lie to you, like, it was a very scary process. I
mm,
was 16, you know, COVID had happened, and my case wasn't moving because of COVID.
mm,
And now, mind you, this case started when I was 16 years old. I'm currently 21. So this case isn't no joke. Mind you, I was 15 actually. My birthday was in August. I opened up in June, and he got arrested in November.
Oh damn.
So you know what I'm saying? Like they did their investigation, and they did what they had to do, and I did what I had to do. You know, and con eso me metí una depresión, like really bad, that I went to weed. I loved weed. Like I would smoke a blunt or two a day, just high. I loved it, and in high school, like I was with the wrong crowd. I mean, they were good kids, obviously, but they were like weed heads. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like they love to smoke, and con eso yo también me acoplé de fumar, y you know I was just smoking weed every day because I just couldn't be at peace. Yeah. You know, and when I would smoke weed, I was at peace. Peace and quiet.
Yeah, it was like all those memories, feelings, everything was just like pushed back.
Yeah. And even with that, I still have a hard time with, you know, people like touching me, or like if I don't know you and like me pasa la mano por encima, me da como que escalofrío. Yeah. You know, and it hits me back to that memory of what happened to me, and you know it's very hard because I was very young, and I went through a lot at such a young age, and at the same time, like, you know, I had to keep up with my grades, I had to keep up with school, I had to keep up with this, I had to keep up with that, I was at work, you know, yo me mantenía bien ocupada para no recordarme de los momentos que yo vivía. Um, but yeah, I was very, very depressed, and I would smoke weed to forget the memories because I was able to just silence everything. And mind you, I was 16, 17, smoking a blunt. Yeah. In my car. And I would go home and I would go high as fuck. And my parents would know, but they wouldn't say anything because they knew that I was going through absolutely a lot. Yeah. And at that same year, I lost my aunt, who also, like, you know, she always told me, like, she believes in me and that she was going to be beside me 100%. And I lost her, you know, and I was 16. And, you know, I went through a lot of stuff that a 16-year-old isn't supposed to go through. And that's why I'm very thankful with, you know, some of Alan's family, because, you know, my grandmother doesn't see me as her granddaughter. Yeah. But his grandma does. Yeah. You know, I go to her house y tiene la comida hecha y me dice, come, come, come. Yeah. Y mind you, it's not food that she makes for everyone else. Like, she has to make separate food because I'm a very picky person. like you saw last time, like, you know, what do you want to eat? And I'm like, bro, like, I want this. And she's like, all right, I'll do it for you, you know? And Alan has, you know, like some cousins that I talk to too. And, like, I see them as my cousins. Like, you know, him and his sister, I see her as my sister. And, you know, I'm very thankful that I had that opportunity of finding, you know, another family to replace the shitty one that I had. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. I would say, like you like you said, like, you have a really good relationship with your partner's family. But I would say that for me it's the opposite. Like, I would say Harrison's the one that has the good relationship with his partner's family, because like like in Harrison's eye, he only has one brother-in-law, and it's my brother. That's his only brother-in-law.
Me too.
Well,
you forgot Enner.
Oh yeah, two brother-in-laws actually. He has two.
Enner, if you're watching this, para que veas que tu hermana no se recuerda de ti. Yep.
But Harrison has two brother-in-laws. You know, like, yeah, he has to deal with Enner. But the other day I asked Enner, I'm like, Enner, do you know what Harrison is to you? He's like, yeah, that's my big brother.
Yeah, and that's like something that I feel like it's such a blessing. Like, maybe not for you, because, you know, it sucks that, like, both parts of the party can't get along. But it's good for Harrison because you don't know, like, what he has gone through. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I've always said is, like, you don't know what people have gone through, so stop fucking judging. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like people are so easy to judge and say, like, fuck her, like, she's this, she's that. And it's like, you have absolutely no idea what the fuck I was going through, okay? Yeah. Like, I was like we all go through this part in life where we're so depressed, And no podemos hablar con absolutamente nadie because nobody really understands you. I've been talking to a therapist for like 7 years, you know, and it has helped me a lot to grow and change the person I am now. Because yo antes era muy contestona, me valía madres. Yo estaba lista para pelear con quien sea, estaba tan enojada al mundo por lo que me pasó, por lo que me tocó que vivir. Y if I'm being honest with you, like I'm telling you, nobody could say anything to me. I was so ready to get down. Nadie me podía decir absolutamente nada, ni mi mamá. Y I feel bad for my mom because my mom could not say absolutely anything to me because I was quick with the answers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was because of that. I was just so angry that that happened to me and that I had no family. And at the same time, Alan came into my life and somebody who I didn't know, somebody who I didn't know his family, I didn't know absolutely anybody, a total stranger who is basically water to me, became blood to me. You know what I'm saying? And es muy triste de tener que vivir en algo así, pero at the same time, I feel like it made me a lot stronger into becoming who I am. And as a first generation who has gone to school, um, I don't want to say that I'm thankful for what happened to me, but I feel like I'm glad that my aunts left my life so I can focus on me. You know? Because I was always worried about what they were going to say about me or like what their opinions were about me. And I finally learned that that doesn't matter at all. You know? And tristemente, yo siento que mucha gente hispana vive por lo mismo, que siempre hay problemas entre la familia. Y es bien triste porque uno debía de quererse, como dice la Biblia or whatever. But it's not like that. And another thing is also is stop judging people you do not know because you don't know anything about them. I had people judge me left and right. Oh, like you're this. Oh, you're that. And they didn't know anything about me. They did not know absolutely anything about me. And, you know, when I was going through that, I was trying to find it in, like, instead of finding my real family as a family, I try to look for a family in church. The biggest mistake. Because yo llegaba a la iglesia y automáticamente me criticaban. Ay, she has lashes on. Like, you're not supposed to be wearing that. Oh, she has piercings. Like, you're not supposed to do that. Oh, she got tattoos. You're not supposed to do that. Oh, this, all that. And I didn't give a fuck. Pero llegaba un punto que uno como que se desespera. Y what I started doing was Saturdays, because I'm a Christian, on Saturdays I would log in, watch the live, and then after the live, I'm done. Nadie me critica y nadie está dando su opinión.
Their 2 cents.
Y yo lo que siento es que that's so sad. Because church is supposed to be a welcome family. And it's really not. And with that, and going through what I did with my family, it was something very, very hard. And let's not say again, I was 16 years old. You know? And I encourage every person who has been through sexual assault to speak up, say something, and just get your justice because no man should ever touch you, should ever do anything without your well being. Okay? Um, no man at all. Don't be scared of, oh, it's gonna take a long time. Everything takes a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything has its time. God will provide. And what I can say is speak up. You know, we are in the month of depression, which is October. And no dejen que your pensamientos te maten, basically. No dejen que eso te mate. Porque thoughts are very, very poisoning. Very. Because you start thinking, and then you overthink, and then you become depressed, and then you become depressed, and you get at like a stamp. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get at a stop sign, and you're just like, what the fuck do I do? You know? And you have no family. You have nobody at church you can talk to because even the pastor talks shit. And you're stuck. You know? And this is what I always say is like, talk to a therapist, talk to your friends, talk to people who you really trust. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny because Lourdes was the one that actually convinced me to go to therapy. Her and Harrison. I don't know. They had to sit down together. Let's figure out a way to convince Jesse to go to therapy.
I find therapy very, but like as for somebody who listened to my 2 cents,
yeah,
I feel like it's been very like, how can I say it? Very like a prize. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because like, yeah, you have to go through therapy. Yeah, like, it sucks because you have to take an hour out of your day. But that 1 hour, you can say whatever the fuck you feel.
Yeah.
And it's like, no te pueden criticar. Y nadie va a saber lo que le estás diciendo. Y no va a haber ningunos chismes después de que termines de hablar con esa persona. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I love my therapist. I feel like everyone in America should get a therapist. If I was president, I would get everyone a therapist, okay?
Lourdes 2024.
I feel like everyone should get a therapist because everyone needs one. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, everyone needs a therapist because everyone goes through stuff.
Yeah, and don't take your anger out on the other people. Fix your issues. Then come talk to us. Yeah.
I feel like que sea like daddy issues, que sea like mommy issues, que sea
baby daddy issues.
Yeah, baby daddy issues, que sea like que te tocaron sexualmente, que alguien te hizo algo o que un tío, tía te hizo hacer algo que no querías.
Any issues.
Any issues. Like, it doesn't matter, like, like anything. Go talk to a therapist because it's so relieving and it's something that makes you not as depressed as before. Everyone should get a therapist. And if you can't find a therapist, I will put it right here. Hopefully, Jesse could put it right here.
Use our coupon code at checkout. Imagine 10% off your first session.
You guys should have insurance, but anyways, I'll put something.
Unless you get cut off the insurance.
Yeah, unless you're like 25, then why are you watching our podcast? But anyways, no, I'm kidding. I am kidding. Anyways, I'm gonna put something here. I'm gonna tell Jesse to put it so you guys can find a therapist local to you and to what you need. Que sea PTSD, child abuse, abandonment issues, whatever you have, you're able to find a therapist for what you need. And I think it's very good. And you can find one at your location that takes your insurance and your problems.
Sponsored by. I mean, not sponsored by.
No.
What do you use for your therapy?
I used psychology, something like that.
Yeah, I use girl therapy.
I used that once.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I did use that.
Not sponsored by girl therapy and psychology.
Something. We'll put it in the bottom though. I'll find it. Don't worry. But yeah, thank you for like sitting here and listening to us babble about our life. Look for help, find help, talk to your parents, talk to your mom. Such a cliche thing to say, but it's actually really true. Talk to your friends, your girlfriends, your boyfriends. Talk to somebody so you don't let depression kill you. And happy October, happy Halloween. Hope all you hoes are going out, because I am.
All right, well, thank you guys for watching our video. Until next time.
Bye.